planted.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to SpikeTalk episode 33. I'm your host, Bebe. I got my co-host here, Frost. And man, these matches have been insane, but there's some more insane drama going on, bro. You a piece of shit. Like, you, dude, listen. We literally all believed you when you said you would never get rid of Ban and Gov, that they were like, you know, the goats of NA coming over, you know? And now they're gone, bro. It's announced officially. I've obviously known this for quite some time, but dude, how are you going to go back on your word like that? You literally said for the longest time since we started Spike Talk that you would never get rid of him.
Yep. And they believe that too. But, you know, it's wrong place, wrong time. And the truth is, you know me very well. You know me as a person. You know me as a competitor. I have fucking standards. I didn't come to Korea to lose.
Yeah.
So I felt that after kickoff, I think I might have capped with the roster. And capped that top 4 is not good enough for me. It might be good enough for everybody else.
Yeah, and just real quick, like, even last year, that seemed to be like the big thing, right? Was you could never beat like one of those top 3 teams in the region.
Yeah, we
Like
keep throwing.
you just like you get right there, you beat everybody else. You like basically gatekeep everybody else, but you can never beat one of those teams like the DRXs or the Gen Gs. You know, like it feels like it's always been.
So after the T1 throw on Haven, I had a real big Ban, right? So me and Ban talked privately, and he was like, Hector, we are going to regret what just happened on map 3 versus T1. And he was right, and I knew it. And I said, no, it's fine. It's fine. Who cares? Like we still got more to play. But in my heart of hearts, I fucking knew it. Because you remember last year versus T1, the game plan was, yo, Ban, I'm going to bait you because I know they're going to try to fucking dick you and be like, yeah, you know, revenge game this, fuck you. But I'm just going to bait you. And then Jit just destroyed them. And this was the game plan, was to basically sick, you know, a chamber. So when you pick chamber, what's going to happen? You know the chamber is going to look to farm and fry, right? No, that was a literal bait. It was, yeah, we're going to fake setting you up, but the 3-man pack is going to destroy him. So we baited him. This year, before the T1 game, I said, Ban, I need you. And you're like really close to Ethan now. You can ask him about the Icebox versus Gambit at Berlin. Ban had that level of game plan, and he'll tell you what the game plan was then, right? He had the exact same game plan. It was like, Ban, this is your game. This is what you're going to do. Ban single-handedly defeated T1. We just threw it. The team threw it, right? And I felt so bad for him because, you know, him and Governor have gotten all this fucking criticism from especially the Thai fans, right? About like, oh, they suck, they're this, they're that, blah, blah,
Oh yeah,
blah,
they've
blah,
been
blah.
getting honestly, they've been getting ransacked.
Right.
Like it's been like nonstop too ever since they joined the roster.
And Ban basically single-handedly, I mean, obviously Cruz has his like fingerprints all over it, but you get my point. Like, Ban put foot in ass. And when we lost that, obviously we had to keep confidence up. But he said it to me. He's like, Hector, I know we're going to regret this because that was the 1 seed. Because our next matchup is favorable. Like, you know, because the last time we played DRX on the offseason, it was 13-4, 13-4. We know how to play that roster, right? And we did it with standard comps that you know we're not good at.
Yes.
So, and you know, we know how to play against Tejo, right? So it's kind of like it was all for us, right? Like we were going to get the 1 seed, and then we're going to qualify, and Ban and Gov have their victory lap, and they proved to everybody, you know, blah, 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 blah. I started because, but to your point, it was Nongshim. When we threw, so Lotus, the stuff we were doing and things that were happening, which I'm not going to get into tactically, but there were things in rounds that happened where Cruz is making a call and people are like, no, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, blah, 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 blah. Like, there is this stuff that was like we came out of ourselves. When we threw that Lotus, I knew there was a problem. So I sat both of them down in a room privately and said, yo, what the fuck was this? And I basically told them both. I said, guys, we play Gen G. We knew what the veto was going to be. I correctly guessed it. Everything was prepared. I took a swing on Lotus. The Lotus loss was all on me. That's not Cruz. It's not Governor. It's not Ban. That's me. That's the same shit for PRX. I have an idea for Lotus and how these teams are going to play. I'm going to try to counter it. I got fucking bopped. But Bind, they did everything we expected. just like a lot of other teams that we knew, right? The game plan was there. I'm seeing people do shit that they're not supposed to be doing. I'm seeing some craziness, which I'm not going to mention because I'm not going to try to shit on anybody. But I sat them down before that game and said, guys, here's what's going to happen. We're going to play them on Abyss. We're going to win map 3. We're going to move on. We're going to play somebody else. But I had the conversation with them like, but what the fuck I saw on Lotus cannot happen on this Lotus. Now, I didn't know it was going to happen on Bind, admittedly. But I was like, I need us to just listen to crews, stop fucking around. And I gave them points, things that they were supposed to do, especially around certain keys to the game. Sat them down and talked to them. Let's just say the opposite happened.
Yeah.
And when we lost to Gen G, at that fucking moment, I knew, I was like, I have a choice. Top 4, we played bad. We still we still made top 4.
Yeah.
We played bad. Like, horrifically, we're making top 4. We're going to make champs. I know we're going to make champs again.
With this roster, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not the point, though. You want to win champs.
That's not the point for me. And this, I think, is the fucked up part. And this is why both those players are pissed off and should be pissed off at me because technically I fucked them over. Think about the money I cost them. Think about everything I cost them because technically they're a top 4 team. How many players in this league would be like, yeah, bro, we're good enough to make champs. Like, why are you going to cut me? And they are absolutely correct. The problem is I have fucking standards. And that has always been the problem with me in anything I do. And you know this because you're close to me now and you've been around me. It is unacceptable for us to not do the things that we should be doing. I do not accept this from myself, from my assistant coach, Jovi. He knows. He knows the shit I put him through and the things I expect from him. But he delivers. That's why me and him have always gotten fucking along. And me and Gov and me and Ban have gotten along the same way. The problem is we're not delivering when it matters. And I'm seeing this pattern. And I have a choice. Do I spend the next year just being happy going O2 barbecue, making top 4?
Not beating any of the top teams, but like beating everybody else just to qualify.
Not me. And that's their problem. And that's why they feel a certain way and should feel a certain way that I'm taking both an opportunity away from them and I fucked them over. But I have a choice, or I had a choice to make. And I chose to win more than anything else.
And period.
That's
Mic drop moment.
Yeah. You got to understand too.
Dude, yeah.
I'm battling time.
It's tough, bro. I know. This is your last year.
I'm being selfish.
It's your last year.
But it's not just that. I'm getting older. You know how long I've been in esports? You know what's going on? Look at the timeline. Let's talk about the past real quick. Let's just speed through. I'm on 100 Thieves, right? Bad system. We qualify for... Actually, I'll go even further. Problem started to have when I try to replace Steel for fucking Zekken. And 100 Thieves says no. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So there was a power dynamic that happened there.
Which, by the way, would have been a fucking huge move.
Unlucky for them. Because they don't fucking listen. They never listened. Right? So what happens? I lose all authority at that moment. Right? I'm pretty sure Josh tried to cut me. Luckily, people had my back on the team and said, nah, that's cap. Let's not do that. But what did I do? I got neutered. So you know what I did? Like a grown-up, I accepted it and said, okay, Josh, this is your team. What do you want to do? What do you want to run? I was helping. I was supportive in that role.
Yeah.
I didn't pout. I didn't cry. I did nothing. I took a chance. I took a shot. They said, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. We do. We're going to keep him. They do. Eventually, he lost the locker room. Sorry, Josh, that I'm spilling it, but people need to understand this so they understand what the fuck is happening now. Right? So we go to Berlin. Bad format. The top, we qualified as a second seed. The second seed have a harder bracket. I get Gambit, Ascend, all this shit. Envy gets nothing. When we play them, we lose. I go to LCQ. You know what happened at LCQ? Me and you have talked about it on this show. I get fired after LCQ. I won't get into the politics, but I get fired after LCQ. Then what happens? I try to go to TSM. No. I try to go to FaZe with you. No. Everybody says I'm ass. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I got carried by all these players. I go to Secret. I get players that don't fucking listen, that think they know better than me in every aspect of the game. Right?
Yeah.
What happens there? Nothing. I go to Furia. What happens? I'm a GM. All of a sudden,
and that team didn't actually perform that bad though.
All of a sudden, I have to coach. Why? Because they were losing all their scrims, and I'm getting yelled at as if I built the fucking roster. That I inherited that roster. I'm just sending them to fucking LA. So I go, I fix that team. We almost beat Fnatic. We get out of kickoff. We go 4-2 of the season. Then Ego gets in the way from one of the co-founders, and no disrespect, Carlisle, my assistant coach. All of a sudden, I'm gone. Then they don't win anymore. Now, obviously, you know what Fury is. I come to Talon. By the way, no offense, Dohoon. I'm not trying to shit on you. This is just how it is. You know, I love you. You're a great boss. You know, it is what it is. I wasn't even his first choice. As a matter of fact, he was going to go with somebody else. Aaron and Cruz, you know this, they boycotted and said, nope, you're picking this guy. Absolutely not.
Which is funny because you were talking about this on stream on the watch parties that we've been doing, and you were like, Cruz actually fucking hated me when I first like did the
You know why? Because he gets me in there, and you know what I do? I prioritize winning first. I fucking tell Cruz, I'm sorry, buddy, you are here as a 6-man only because you're not good enough. Straight up told him that in trials because his trials was ass. Now you're getting the picture. So he brings me here, and all of a sudden I fuck him. This is his perception because, again, I'm on a clock. I've wasted years of my life now. I just said from 100 Thieves all the way. That's like almost 3 years. But in between that, you know what I did? I was coaching tier 2. I was helping all these other players. That's why Fly was in the chat today, by the way. Yep. I'm coaching all these players that people know about. Like, bro, the list. Koala Noob, Flya, Governor. I'm helping tier 2 players, Abdo, all these guys trying to get in the league and try to do everything else for free. I'm doing this shit. Screwface, all these guys, Anderson, all these people. This is what I'm relegated to. I don't bitch about it. I just fucking do the work. I'm like, fine. If I can't make it in the league my way, I'm gonna do it with these guys. I'm gonna do it with this guy. I'm gonna do it with that guy. Does not fucking matter. I go to Talon, Dohoon, when he actually hired me, actually gave me the keys. So unfortunately for all of them, they're running into a guy that felt he's wasted the last 3 years. So fast forward, I get Gov and Ban. We do all this stuff. This is the
Smack
issue.
Up team secret, by the way.
This is the issue that they have is Governor and Ban are running into a guy that feels like he's running out of time and also needs to win. I came to Korea to win. So they rightfully feel like I fucked them over because the fact is they are a top 4 team. And a top 4 team for everybody else is acceptable, except for this dumbass, because that is just not my standard. I do not give a fuck about being top 4 in Pacific. And I certainly do not give a fuck about being good enough. I have a standard, and the standard is not losing the fucking bums that I'm out game planning every fucking week. Just not the fucking game. That is not it. And that breaks my heart to say, because I do love those players. But to
you
point,
literally you basically watched Gov grow as a player like the entire way through, like from tier 2 to like being in partnerships, right? It's crazy.
I didn't want to do it, but I'm running into the realization that maybe it is going to require more time. And I am out of fucking time and patience, by the way, because this is the time to take over the league. This is the time to win a champs. It is not next year. It is not another 2 years. It's not another fucking 3 years. It is today. It is now. And I owe it to the people at Talon too. Like, there's another 2 parts to this. It's not just the players and me and my time and my ego, whatever. It's also one of my friends I brought over. I made him uproot his life in America and said, Jovi, come. I have a team that I've already gotten to the point we could be top 4. With you here, I know we can win. And I'm watching us do the same shit that we did fucking last year.
Yeah.
It is not fair to Jovi for me to bring him on my word that, brother, with you here, it's over. It's a wrap. That's the missing piece. And now I'm watching the same shit. And then also the people at Talon. Talon is one of the best orgs I have been in that obviously wasn't Flipside.
Yeah.
Full stop. The people here are great. I owe it to Dohoon. I owe it to Sean. I owe it to Dan. I owe it to Ray, my man. I owe it to everybody at Talon.
I actually love everybody there. Like, I got to like go to the dinner with you guys, and that was sick. I also like your practice room. Like, the setup is nice in there, bro. Like,
they work very hard to do the thing, to provide us the best that they can in order for us to do the best that we can. And I feel like consistently we are not doing the best that we can. We are always either falling short or fumbling, which is my biggest issue. I wouldn't mind losing if people are better. But when I know, Anti's good, game plan's good, Cruz is calling well,
the execution is just like a little off because
when
of
we're
nerves
making
or whatever it may be.
Yeah, bro. Unforced errors to me is just not it. You cannot
Which is
be
weird because you would think
do that.
you would think with a roster that like stayed together, you would have like all that shit ironed out, and you would just execute. Like I mean, honestly, like EDG, right? Who stayed together after champs. I mean, obviously different.
That was the plan.
Different, but like you know what I'm trying to say.
That's my plan. My plan was everyone else is going to make changes. Why do we have to? We just need to get better.
Yeah.
Right? I just need Premi to evolve and get better. I need Jit to take a step. I need Governor Band to take a step. That's fine. This is what I needed. And then come kickoff, we did take steps because my whole offseason was what? Raising our floor. That's why I was running those default comps and playing our worst matchups. And you saw Split came in handy. We beat Nongshim on Split. We haven't beaten anybody on Split the whole year. We raised our floor. But the problem is I can't find our peak. So it leads me to believe maybe this is our fucking peak. Maybe we're destined to be just fucking top 4.
Yeah.
And when I had that realization, I just said, do I want to be in a place where I'm just top 4? I said, no, I'd rather, and this is a conversation I had with Cruz. I told Cruz to his face, if I'm going to go out, I want to go out on my sword.
Yeah.
I don't want to be top. I would rather go back to top. I would rather prove everyone right that I'm a failure, that I'm trash, that I'm this or I'm that, and go back to 9th place than to just stay at 4. If I'm not going to go 3, 2, or 1, I'd rather be 9th. Because I, on a personal level, just do not accept that we're just good enough to be top 4. I don't give a fuck about anything else.
Also, I'm going to be honest. Yeah, like it sucks for Ban and Gov, for sure. It does. But remember how we were talking about how much criticism they were getting from the moment they joined the team? Now I'm pretty sure, because there are rumors going around, there's screenshots that were leaked about people in the server. Looks like it might be a full tie situation. And I think finally the people are going to get what they want. We're finally going to get the full tie, and we're going to see.
And
we're going to see.
Yes, and that's what bothers me the fucking most, because that's what I said of the Swang song. Gov, Ban, me could have had our moment of going, we fucking told you, right?
Yeah.
Just like at Champs, I felt like we could have changed the game by winning the way that we were playing last year. It would have forced everyone to consider, man, maybe we need to switch comps. Funny enough, you're still seeing teams do that now in this tournament, which we'll talk about another time, but we missed our opportunity. So now, yes, the Thai community gets what they want. We get a full Thai roster. And the only reason I was comfortable enough to do this is because I think Jit and Premi turned a corner. I already trust Cruz.
Yeah.
But Jit and Premi, to me, turned the corner and have evolved.
Yeah, I was actually going to say, because obviously we've been talking throughout the entire offseason and what expectations are for certain players. And Jit Boys has been probably the most impressive on your roster right now. Obviously, Premi's Premi. Premi's fucking Premi. You know what I mean? Like, we know what we're gonna get from Premi. Right. He's the upcoming star. But Jit, he did everything that you asked him. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Like everything you told him, like you were like, yo,
I know.
Like, you're gonna need to step up big next season. You're gonna need to evolve your gameplay, whatever. He's done that, bro. He's looked fucking great. He's looked confident, bro. Like, honestly, at some points, I thought he was your best player. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Trust me, I believe you. My faith in them now is why I said, okay, I can, instead of all brain, I can go all aim now. Because I haven't specifically told Jit this, but he's 19. I'm going to put the pressure on him to now be the OG. Because to me, now he is the OG, right? So now it's on him to help me the way Ban helped them, make sure the two guys acclimate well, and he needs to pick up and pick up the slack for them.
Which is a big role, but I mean, he's going to become a phenomenal player.
And I believe he can do it. And Cruz told me straight up, he's like, if you can do to Thai and Killua what you did for Jit, trust me, this is going to work. Because the conversation was afterwards.
Are we allowed to talk about the pickups?
Yeah.
Oh, we are? Is it announced?
Yeah. Because by the time this airs, it will be
announced. Oh, okay, cool, sick. Bro.
Yeah.
Once you finish, I want to get into the
that was it. It was basically, he said, if you could do what you did then, or with him, this will work. Because I told him, I was like, what do you think about promoting Thai? Right? Because when we do Sims, I'm telling you right now, Thai is a fucking monster.
Frying,
he destroys us.
Yeah,
right?
he's a fryer.
So over the last 2 months, I've been myself like, Cruz, this guy is, he's like, heck, trust. I know. And there's another player that isn't going to get called up, but he was what we were thinking of. When this was mentioned, Cruz and me had a different idea. But the moment Jip Boys and Primi found out, they had an idea for another player, which I think you're going to ask about.
Yeah, Killua.
Right.
Yeah, he's...
They said, listen, if you get this guy, it's a wrap. And me and Cruz said, really? Over this guy? And they were like, no, that guy's good too. Trust me, that's fine. But if you get us Killua... So I have to give a lot of credit to Full Sense. I have to give a lot of credit to Dohoon and mainly Cruz, because they all literally got in a room and figured it out. And for the betterment of the Thai community, Full Sense didn't do what they did to us last year, because people don't realize I tried to go full Thai, but I couldn't. Everybody was contract locked, and all the Thai people were hating on Talon for this.
Yeah, that's right, bro. And it was ridiculous contract locks too. It's not like
ridiculous, like
it's
crazy.
Not like 10 to 50K. It was like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
This year,
which is fucking insane.
Cruz, Dohoon, and Full Sense talked about Thai, about the Thai scene and getting a Thai win. And so this is why I'm publicly saying everybody needs to credit Full Sense on this as well, because it wasn't just a Talon, Cruz, Hector decision, Dohoon decision, Primi decision. Full Sense also basically said, okay, for the sake of Thailand, we're going to see if we can all make this work amicably. And they did. And then when Cruz and I had the realization that, okay, this could be the potential roster, do we make the change? I said, well, first I went to everyone and said, are you sure? Because I've already told them what I felt. That, okay, like, are we happy with top 4? Cruz, admittedly, was not, because, again, the money of champs and everything else, you know, let's just say some people, even the Thais, weren't all convinced that, like, it's a smart thing to make, because they're also thinking about the financial ramifications of the decision we're making. Even Talon were like, are you fucking sure? And I'm like, if you trust me, I'm fucking sure. Now, what they don't know, which is what I'm revealing here, sorry everybody, is that I'm going for the win. I'm not playing for champs. This has financial ramifications for Talon, and I'm going to suffer because of it if I don't succeed, and I'm okay with the pressure. It is what it is. I totally get it, because that extra incentive of making champs for the organization is very fucking important.
Yes.
So I know the responsibility I have, and I'm basically here to basically say that it's not on the players, it's on me, basically, because the truth is, I know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm blowing up a top 4 team consistently. Or we are consistently a top 4 team in this region. We're going to we are going to make champs with this roster if I keep it.
Yes.
Because I want more, and I feel like we can do more, and I also know that me and Cruz are on a fucking clock, and I feel like Talon deserves more than just a top 4. So I'm willing to put all my chips on the fucking table to go, hey, fuck it. You know, let's do it. And that, I think, is ultimately the problem with me is that players need to know that there's 2 things that happen when you're around me. You're either going for it all, or like, you either help me win or I'm going to fucking replace you. Or you do what Asuna did on 100 Thieves and basically go, I'm just going to use my leverage to replace you. Either one. Either I'm out or you're out. But if the goal isn't to win, and if we're not going to put everything in the middle of the table to do so, then I just don't want you on my fucking team. And I love Governor and Ban as people. Those are my guys. They're my little brothers. And if they ever come to me and ask for help, I'm going to be the first one to be like, yo, what you need? But I felt like I've seen enough, and I don't think I want to risk being just a mediocre, in my opinion, top 4 team. And I felt like going for more does 2 things. It sets up Talon for the future, but it also, in my opinion, I could be wrong, which is the fucking gamble, and which is why both those players are upset. I think I can do better with all aim, no brain, which is ironic. I know.
Yeah. I mean, another thing that's kind of ironic is, like, you know, the whole talk about, you know, not making panic moves and et cetera. And it's something you've been very critical of But now this kind of feels like,
Yeah.
especially with the tone that you're saying it all, and it kind of does feel like this is kind of panicked in a way, you know?
I understand why this feels that way. I just can't help but trust my instinct on this.
Do you
I
think,
know what I see
but
and
do you
feel.
personally feel like it's like if we're coming from a place of panic, or do you think this is not like a panic situation?
I mean, oh,
Like,
okay.
like
In
what are your
fairness,
honest thoughts?
this could be ego, right?
Mhm.
But the truth is, my bad years are career years for everybody else. Just think about it.
Mm.
This is why I'm so mad. In 18 months, actually, fuck that. In 9 months, Talon went from one of the worst teams in Pacific to potentially top 2 in the league if it wasn't for, no disrespect, a governor throw, right? Instead, we were just a top 4 team. In 18 months, we had the chance to go from 9th in the league to qualifying first in Thailand. First. And we didn't do it. We failed. Nobody gives a fuck about the what ifs.
Yeah.
Right? That is ultimately what the fuck this is. It's, yeah, I know. This looks like panic. And I'm now doing what everybody else does, which is going the PRX route and going all aim, no brain.
Pretty much every APAC team's decision, like in the last 2 seasons, in the last 2 off seasons. Yeah.
The thing is, I gave this roster time, in my opinion. I'm not, doing what some other teams done, which is making change too fast, too early.
You even gave him kickoff as well.
I made the changes when I felt I needed to make them. I had a 6-man roster. Everybody criticized that. I replaced Lenny. People criticized that. I replaced Surf. People criticized that. I took a chance with Primi. People criticized that. We went 0-2 barbecue. They rightfully criticized us then too. Right? Like, I felt like I gave us time. This is just me using, look, I've been in esports, since 2011, both as a player, owner, coach, GM. This is just instinct. It's everybody can say, yes, Hector, you're panicking. You're doing everything else you criticize everybody else for. They can also say, yes, I'm going the PRX route, which is what basically I've told everybody not to do. And it's okay that you think that. And you're probably right. I just can't kick what I told you, which is I think this roster is just going to continue to fail. There is a chance we do better. But I just don't feel like I have the time, and I don't want to risk the time in order to see that through. I would rather just do what I'm good at, which is start over and figure it out with new players and give them a fucking chance. And even if I fail, I set up Talon for the future. But I think trusting Jip Boys and Premier, like I'll give you an example. Like the real reason why I keep saying I'm trusting Jip Boys and Premier is because I'll give you an example of what happened to us versus Levitt Champs. There's a round that you'll see. It's probably early in our attack half. Governor and Premier are playing Neon and Yoru. And there's a round out of showers, right? And this example is a microcosm of everything I'm talking about. Governor goes, yo, I'm going to do wall 1, right? Oh, sorry, I should explain what wall 1. So there's a sequence. The Neon wall, if you look at our breeze too, you'll see this. Neon, like I have a wall 1, wall 2, wall 3. Wherever the wall is, there's corresponding util to match the wall. So Primi knows, oh, he calls wall 1. So I'm going to do this flash. But Governor sees something. Somebody peeked, I think, back triple. And he goes, no, wall 2, wall 2. Right? So he does the different wall. But Primi hears wall 1, which is what he's conditioned to do. So he throws flash 1. Because Primi isn't an English speaker, his brain didn't catch the nuance, and the eye didn't catch the visualization of the new wall, so he throws flash 1. So Gov dies for free, he flashes him, blah, 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 blah. Then afterwards, he's like, yo, Primi, I said, he's like, no, bro, you said wall 1. This is an example of what we mean by the comms, and sometimes this shit is disjointed, is that some of my Americans, Governor and Band, they're so smart. They catch things. Somebody makes a call like Cruz, and they go, no, we should do this. You do this, da. Primi and Jit don't have the speed to...
it's not native for them.
They don't have the course correction to do it the way you would, Andre. So what happens, sometimes util's late, somebody fucks up, somebody goes, oh, wait, blah, 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 like, you said this. And he's like, yeah, but I called it off. But the guys don't respond to calling it off. They respond to, Primi, go here. Not, a discussion because they turn their brains off and let Cruz do all the things. And if there's info that needs to be passed, it needs to be in tie. But from governor's perspective and band's perspective, when they're making that calm, they don't have the fucking time to be like, yo, Premi. They just go, yo, I'm going to do this. I need you to do this. I need to smoke here, blah, 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 blah. And sometimes it doesn't happen.
That's the tough part about running a team that has that language barrier a little bit.
Of course.
So I guess my question to you now is, because you guys are definitely scrimming right now with a full tie roster, have you noticed like a lot of those things just
100% because
it's cleaned up?
Because now Premi and Jit have leveled up. They understand the game now contextually in the way that like Governor and Band do. Maybe not obviously all the way, but it's good enough. But now they get to think in tie, speak in tie.
It's just
and
like
now
boom,
Jit,
boom, boom, boom.
because Jit has told me many times, he's like, man, I know what was happening here, but I fucking can't say it fast enough. So all I say is, Governor, ping. And he thinks he's supposed to know what the thing is, but like Governor's like, I don't know what the fuck that meant.
Dude,
and it's like,
I can't even imagine how hard that is, dude, as a player.
Now,
bro.
in
Not being
fairness,
able to like actually communicate to your teammates is tough, bro.
But in fairness, I'm going to be very critical of Premi and Jit here because they didn't fucking take their English lessons in the offseason very fucking seriously. They were even missing classes. And this is the problem about committal. Not everybody fucking committed all the goddamn time the way that I did, the way that Jovi did, the way that Cruz does. And it bit us in the fucking ass in kickoff, right? Starting from Jit Boys. Jit Boys was mid-rounding so well. The problem is sometimes he has to overthink and communicate, and he's not looking at his crosshair. But what he wants to say, Ban will say in 2 seconds. It takes him 10.
Yeah, exactly.
And I felt the pain and the anguish in the Gen G series where he knows what's happening, but he can't fucking communicate it fast enough. Because now he's the one that has the info and the details and all that stuff. And I felt this pain when he's like, man, I just couldn't fucking say it, right? So, you know, when I have all this in my mind, I'm like, yeah, but now I trust them. Now I know they know what they're doing. And if I'm going to have this problem continuously where we can't be top 4, then why don't I make them be the ones to carry, not you guys be the ones to carry? And I think ultimately that's the shit that I had to weigh. And yeah, I'm just going for it all, or I'm just going to go broke, and that's just unlucky. That's just not the fucking way to put it.
Go for broke or go broke. You know what I mean?
It's whatever, bro.
It's one or the other, bro.
What am I going to do?
Hey, listen, bro. I think everyone's excited to see what these guys are going to cook up, especially like having Killua and Thai, right?
Yeah. And by the way, they don't speak English.
Cracked out of their mind.
So this is Fury all over again because no fala Portuguese. I didn't talk fucking Portuguese over there. Like I had to go to Carlisle. So now, but the difference is I'm not going through a mediator I don't know. The mediator now, instead of it, so Carlisle was all the communication between us, and you guys can imagine what the fuck happened there. And this is no disrespect, Carlisle. This is just real. This is what the fuck it is. Because I know you watch this. But now I have Cruz. And I trust Cruz. I know that the message is getting across. And I know there is going to be no Game of Thrones bullshit being played with Cruz. So I trusted that. I never wanted to go back to Furia. Like I never wanted to go through that experience again because of what had just happened.
Yeah.
But I feel better about this now because I know these people. I trust these people. And in truth, I believe Premi and Jit turned a corner. And all of my faith went there when I realized that we can only make top 4 with what we had now. So I'm hoping that I'm right about this. And my instinct has normally served me well. Like I don't really make a living not trusting my own instinct and experience. So, you know, this is just another thing where I'm doing something that people tell me not to do. And hopefully it works out in my favor. And if it doesn't, then I'm just everything all of you think I am. So,
well, talking about what people don't want people to do. I mean, NRG had to release Verno. I don't know. I don't think we talked about it in the last one, but now it's officially announced they got Broctagon in there. But also Bonkar is gone, and they got Mike's. So they got Mike's and Broctagon. I think that it's good for Brock to get in the league because even in the offseason when I was in Seattle casting the Red Bull tournament and like just watching all those guys go on runs. And like I obviously know like who's getting trials, who's not getting trials because I'm like cool with a lot of these people. I knew that Brock didn't really get many trials or many opportunities, so I'm happy to fucking see him in the league because he's definitely good enough. And I think that he's always been hungry. Like this kid has been grinding his ass off, whether it was on Flya's roster, Whether even it was him doing a solo mission, right, with everybody else being gone from that old squad, getting picked up and going away. So I'm happy for him. I think obviously you're gonna be lacking in the firepower department with losing a player like Verno, but I mean, I've been talking to Finesse, and it's like Finesse is not the type of person to make roster changes for no reason, bro. He's never done that. You know what I mean? Like he's never been a guy that's been like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna fucking cut one of my teammates. Like think about how long he was with Vic and Crashies, bro.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying? So like it's really something that like it was like the last resort.
This is awkward for me because you do something else with NRG, and I don't want to put you in a compromising situation. And we're not cutting this out, by the way. But do you want to have an honest conversation about it, or do you want to just like touch the surface about some of these topics?
Let's just touch the surface about it. Like, how do you think Brock is going to do coming into this roster? And
I think Brock is very good. When he was on Ghost was when I started realizing him. I have faith in Brock. I do think he can serve as a viable replacement for Verno, and I think he can help that team win. So that is the honest truth about that Brock situation.
Mm-hmm. I think it'll be good too, because from what we got out of it, like Verno was a bit of a quiet player, and I think that Finesse just needed like an extra voice on there to like, especially in that initiator role as well, to kind of help paint the picture, because he is IGLing from the Senti role, but most of the time, right?
Yeah.
So I think Brock is going to step up in that aspect, because I know he helped Flya with a lot of calls, and etc. when he was a part of that squad. So
I mean, I believe for a time he IGL'd, so having a guy that can do that in that situation.
So now you basically have like 3 very good communicators,
right?
Like in terms of like actual macro game planning.
Yeah.
Sam, like he's a smart player, and then you have Mata, who's like he's a pretty good alpha duelist who like can communicate his plays. Like it should be good.
For sure. There is no question that this roster is still good enough to win and should still be considered a top team in this league with the composition that they have now. For sure. Yeah, I mean, if you're expecting more, you told me you wanted just surface level. There's so much fucking shit I think about this and I have feelings about and I don't understand that I would like to know or say or ask, but I don't, but yeah,
so, okay.
I don't want to put you in a compromising situation, but yeah, man, I think so much of this is weird.
I don't think it'll be too compromising. Like, so what do you think is weird about the changes? Do you think it's weird
so
that
let's talk about the first thing I think is weird. Bunkar believes he's the best coach in the league or in all of VCT.
Yeah.
This is what he believes. I just told you a story about me on 100 Thieves where I basically said, fuck it. I didn't get my way, but I didn't pout and I didn't get mad and I didn't get frustrated. And I just fucking helped Josh, who I was not getting along with. Right? Because it doesn't matter who the fuck I have. It doesn't matter who the fuck they are. White, black, yellow, green, purple, blue, orange. I'm going to fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
What doesn't make sense to me is if there were a package deal. So, first off, I watched your thing. This is what's so confusing, is I watched your thing and I saw some things. I felt some things because I felt like this is a situation I was in. Because first off, if it was a unanimous decision, that would assume the coach is involved.
You're talking about with Verno, right?
Yeah.
It was. It was.
Okay, so if that is the case, then it doesn't matter who you replace him with. If you're the best coach, you should feel like you can figure it the fuck out and still win with that roster, which you should be able to. You have a fucking world champion on that goddamn roster, first off, and another guy that went to a goddamn finals.
A multi-game world champion as well, not even just a world champion. Like this guy's done it back-to-back times, right?
Right. So let's start there, right? Okay. So his dismissal is so weird to me because it seemed as if they were the package, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's say they're not the package, right? Let's say it's the other way. Let's say he's butthurt about that decision, right? That tells me that, at least in my opinion, and by the way, you and me do not talk about this, which also burned me, and I'll explain that afterwards, right? So, if he didn't want Verno to be gone, and he wanted someone else to be gone, this makes more sense. as to why he's dismissed, right? Because of the simple fact that, look, I get it. You get it. I've gotten it a lot, even with Cruz. I had it on 100 Thieves with Steel. Everyone blames the IGL when he doesn't frag. I get it. I know what the fuck that looks like because I could see it in the conversation. I saw only one person talk about this shit on your podcast. So I know that FNS is deeply involved in this decision, right? I know. So it's either, in my opinion, it's either it wasn't unanimous, right? Or if it was unanimous, that there is still a problem between, I think, the coach and the IGL. Because there's no other fucking reason why the fuck it ends up this way, right? This is just my experience based on obviously being around a while, and also I just explained to you guys a story where I fucking went through the same goddamn thing, right?
Yeah.
This is what's fucking weird. Because in my opinion, now I know I'm going to sound like a hypocrite here, so I'll say this very openly, but I think I'm not. And I feel like I have good reasons as to why. If I'm there, I don't make changes. Brother, I just told you guys don't even speak the same language on my team. I don't give a fuck if he calms or not. You figure out a game plan and you figure out a system that doesn't require that thought. You can do it. I've done it. Trust me. Primi doesn't really, his English isn't fucking good. Let's just start there. We just explained the story. That roster, as constructed, already won. I don't even need to go out on a limb and say they could have won. That roster is good enough to win an A.
I know.
Which is saying something, first off. So it must have been really bad. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not judging anyone.
Bonker's post on Twitter was short but effective time with the boys. We did not have the same vision when it came to the roster in the end, and unfortunately, I have to warm the bench for a while because of that.
So that tweet is why I said, oh, I know what happened. Him and the IGL, and he probably tried to get a new IGL. Problem is, IGLs don't fucking come on trees. And I keep saying this to people. Like, listen, I'm not comparing them as players. I'm not. FNS is good enough to win.
Yeah, of course.
I don't understand why everyone thinks just replacing the IGL is the fucking answer. The guy's experienced enough to fucking win. Figure it the fuck out.
Also, listen. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you're like, I'm not trying to call Bonkers stupid, but if you're like smart about this, you know that this is probably the last year for a couple of players on this team. Like, dude,
you're hinting on something too.
Like,
right?
Bro, like, listen, I'm just saying, like, just be smart, bro. Like, you probably would have been there for a while. You could have made, like, your own dynasty. They would have passed the reins on you, like, whatever it may be.
That's my confusion.
Listen, I still
Sam is a package.
I still don't know.
I don't either. But
maybe they wanted to just replace both because, because they came in as a package. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it could have been.
Of course. All the context clues leads to me to think, okay, if you replace him as IGL, who the fuck goes? Ethan already tried it. He doesn't want to do it anymore. And I know this just by watching. I don't even need to fucking talk to Ethan to know. I already know. He tried last year. It didn't work out. Sam is a package with FNS. Hello? And, okay, Brock might have been available, and maybe Brock's your IGL, but, like, come on, man. Let's be real, bro.
Oh, there's no IGLs right now that you really...
With that experience, really no. I don't give a fuck about the kid. Like,
also, dude, you got to think about, the players that... The players that are getting so much fucking valuable experience, like Mada, you know, like now it's going to be Brock, you know, playing under the IGLing of a person like Finesse and playing with like a person that's like has veteran experience like Sam or Ethan, bro. Like, because now when you look at NRG, this is clearly not like a roster that's, I mean, like FNS is going to retire, right? And then you have like maybe Sam who might retire with him. You know, because they're kind of like that combo as well. You're looking at this roster now as Mada and like Ethan and the other person is the new core. That's what you're truly looking at. And you're looking at developing these three players. Now it's Brock, Mada, Ethan to like the maximum potential, right? Like that should have been like the entire goal of like I don't want to coach for Bonker, but you know,
no,
like,
for sure. But this is what I'm saying, right? Because that is so. Again, I don't want to sound hypocritical with what I just did, what we just talked about. But I do feel like there's a huge fucking difference. Is we couldn't get to where they already got to. You figure it the fuck out. It is not pleasant. It's not always easy.
So what would you have done, like, if you were in this situation and, like, because you are one to, like, let's say you the roster change that you wanted to make here, right? Where you get rid of Ban and you get rid of Gov. Like, let's say that they were like, nah, fuck that. Like, would you have still tried to make it work with the pieces? Or would you have, like, died on
I would have 100% made it work with the pieces. So give an example.
So you agree that dying on the sword like Bonker did is kind of like, that was kind of like, yo.
Bro, insane work, bro.
It's kind of crazy.
And I don't know him. I'm not being critical. I'm just saying.
Maybe he's just that confident that, like, he's just that nice, you know?
Whatever, bro. Whatever. But either way, I would have even tried to convince FNS not to even pull the plug on Verno because, Primi, I have my deadlock never anchoring. Where do you see that? You know why? Because he can't communicate. So you know what I do? I put him in the pack. You figure out a fucking package in a system that doesn't necessitate the comms from a player that can't comm. You can do it. I promise. You can do it. Now, sure, FNS and Ethan and everybody has the right to make the decision that they want to make. I get it. And if he's unhappy about it, I think he just needs to adjust and figure it out. If you're the best coach, you figure it the fuck out. But I don't think they needed to make the change. And back to the point I made earlier with you, you know what pisses me off is if I knew Verno was available, I wouldn't probably not have completely sacked the roster. I would have been able to have English-speaking players. I didn't know he was in a...
Verno would have been a...
That's what I'm saying. I'm not being a hypocrite. I would fucking take him now. I tried. Now, this is a leak. You know, I'm not going to name who. You know I tried to go to NA and get players on loan from Tier 2 to not have to blow this thing up. And I couldn't. And I'm not going to criticize anybody that... Whatever, bro. It was some bullshit, and I'm not going to forget it. However, that is where we stand. So when I realized I didn't have options, what did I do? I said, fuck it. And the moment that I told the Thai players and we went to get Killua, I'm not going to then rescind it and go, no, fuck that. We're going to go the Verno route when I found out he was available. But I was fucking pissed off when I found out he was available because I would take Verno right now and be like, fine, you couldn't do it? I'll do it.
I'll try to do it.
I'll do it. No, I'll do it. Not try. I will do it because I got a guy that can't speak the same fucking language. Right? Like, you'll figure it out. And I'm just so shocked by everything that is going on because to me, that roster has the potential to win it all. And I'm sad that things had to go the route that it went because I also want to see some of these players be successful because I think they deserve it. And I think that, like, you know, they have the potential to do it. So if you have the potential to be great, be great. So I'm very sad about the entirety of the situation. And that's why, like, I wanted you to know, like, or I had these questions and these concerns and all this stuff, but I don't want to get you in trouble with the NRG people. I'm just saying, like, to me, I'm just like, hello? Why? I felt I had to make the decision. I don't feel from the outside.
But if you could look at it in a lens of the same thing that happened to you, where it's like, it's your last year, you need to fucking win this shit. You don't have the time to sit here and try to make it work. Do you know what I mean?
That's a great point. And I completely respect it. Right? You just asked me what my opinion was of what I would do in that situation. And I totally understand and empathize with their situation. I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not trying to be critical. I'm just more trying to, like, you know, these are my shower thoughts.
Oh, no, for sure. And that's why we're here. I mean, that's literally why we do this.
Like, I have so much expectations of that roster because I think that roster could be, like, you know, what G2 is basically, right? Like, I think that roster could be the Rock of North American Valorant. My bad. North American Valorant.
Let's do a little bit of a pivot and let's just talk about some non-drama things. I've been watching the VLR threads recently just because obviously we're keeping up with, like, all the events that's going on. But there's been a discussion about, like, Osboss versus derke in terms of, you know, just legacies. You know what I mean? Like, and who really is the best duelist? I really want to get your thoughts on this. Who do you think is the better duelist? Of those whether it's two? Currently or who will be the better duelist of all time? Like, whatever you think, because at this point, with the way that derke is playing, it just seems like there's a big thing now where if you join another team and you're still, like, putting up big numbers, you're in, like, the GOAT discussion now. You know what I mean? Osboss is in the GOAT discussion because he's done it now on 3 different teams. Derke, this is his second team.
Everyone
what I
has
mean?
these labels. Yeah,
Yeah, I know. But like genuinely though, like when do we start considering Derke as being one of the best duelists in the world? You know, like in the game. You
No,
know,
he is,
right?
but
Is he better than Ospas?
no. I would rather have Ospas every day of the week, and this isn't a disrespect to him. It's just Ospas' peak is much higher. I'll also give you an example. Post Loud, he's had Durka's had the better teammates, and yet the performance is still very.
Yeah, he does have that like stacked ass vitality team, bro.
So like you have to like grade the scale correctly. Now,
But all right, but hold on. But then there's that argument where it's like, okay, but if you're on a worse team, you just look even better. Do you feel me? Because low key, like the Leviathan teammates that Ospas had last year, it's not like they were bums, bro. You know,
no,
like you
but
got
the quality of the Fnatic players is much better, right? Everybody would say that, and I think even if you ask them, all the Lev guys, they'll say that. You know, I mean, if they're being honest,
the quality of the vitality players is better than Leviathan, is what you're saying.
Facts. This is no disrespect, but like Derke the last 3 years with Fnatic and this year, I mean, come on, like, come on, it's just not even fucking close. Like, sure, you could say, oh, but what about his Loud teammates? Yes, for the time, the Loud teammates are probably on the level, but he had that for a short period, 1 year.
And he won a world championship.
And he won a world championship.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
something Derke has not done with, in my opinion, a better roster for multiple years. And this is no disrespect. I'm not blaming anyone on Fnatic. This is not a Fnatic discussion. This is just facts. Now, Derke has the credit of being, in my opinion, Derke 2K. That's my new nickname for him. Just like Chris Johnson of the Titans, when he ran for 2,000 yards, he called himself CJ2K, right? So to me, Derke at 2K should be his fucking nickname because that's incredible and that's an achievement all on its own. But to me, if we're gonna go by the best, I think I also grade the peak. Consistency, you can make a good argument for either Derke or Ospas. I won't even make that argument. It's a push. But if you're asking me who I would take, and it's only because of peaks. Now, I'm not going to poo-poo anyone that says, oh, Derke is the guy. Like, sure, whatever, bro. But I'll also be honest with you also. I think Jaw Gimble's better than both of them because he can play every fucking agent.
Oh, shit. Even with the way that he got, like...
Yes, bro.
Kind of smacked around by Kong.
But it's my opinion.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Because versatility to me matters the most. It depends on how you grade this argument. I'd also argue...
There's so many factors that go into it. Right?
Yeah, I'd also argue Can should be in that fucking discussion anyway with Ospas and Derke.
Yo,
and I would pick him over
though?
Derke. No disrespect to Derke. I know it seems like I'm shitting on Derke. I'm not. I fucking love Derke.
No. They're all elite, bro.
Yes.
They're all elite.
I'll be happy with any one of them.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Like it's not even like it's like we're doing GOAT talk and it's like they're like on the same level, bro. It's not even like it's like
I only think of if again because I'm a weirdo fantasy draft. If I have a fantasy draft and I'm first pick, who might I go for if those names are available? And when I think of it, it's like
Ospas, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I still probably would go for Ospas, man.
Because it's
or Can or dude height.
Exactly what I'm saying. Can it would be either Ospas or Can would be my brain how that works. Because
but then you got Jaw or you got Derke. It's like it depends on what you're going for. Because I feel like I feel like if you're like a system team, like if you're a team that like loves systems, you know, and that's like your identity. Like low key, and I don't know if this might be a hot take. I think Derke on G2 would have been fucking crazy, bro. Like I think it would have been like, and this, I'm not even, dude. Like Jaw's fucking great for that team. He brings a lot that they didn't have before. But I think that Derke was an even better fit than bro. Because Josh is a system coach. Do you know what I mean? Derke is a system fucking player, bro. We've seen it on Fnatic.
I don't disagree.
It's happening now. I mean, I know Vitality. They're still a new team. They're still getting there, even though that they're so fucking good. The systems aren't like fully in place like it was on Fnatic.
Yeah.
But I low key feel like Derke on G2 would have been like perfect. Like that's the perfect.
I agree. Bro, this dude had so many fucking good options. It's insane.
Yeah,
because he's such a good fucking player. He just makes everybody. Yeah, listen, I get it. I have a lot of healthy respect for Derke, and I respect his game for sure. I just am not caught up in the prisoner of the moment thing as often as other people. I'm not saying you are either. That's not where I'm going with this. This isn't a shot.
Yeah.
I just feel like instinct is instinct. And I still feel like if there is a GOAT, it's Aspas. And I also feel like
Aspas is like LeBron, bro.
if the performance is still the same, Can is right there with him, and everyone else is under. Even if I think that the best duelist is Jaw because of the flexibility.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that the better player is Jargemo. He's not a better player than these guys, and it's no disrespect to him. It's just, again, peaks. Like, you have to grade peaks. And I feel like Can is slowly becoming...
Isn't that crazy? Because they're all so, like, consistent in what they do.
Right.
It's like you have to grade them by, like the thing that's not consistent.
It's all subjective. It's that Jordan versus LeBron shit
totally,
that we're talking about here.
Totally like...
And you want to know the biggest reason? And I know people might disagree with this, but we don't have hard analytics. To me, the differentiating factor would be deep analytics. And sort of like you see who has the most impact, right?
Like true first bloods.
All that shit, right? That
which is great. I like that conversation we had the other day with Power Pixel when we were talking about we wish we had like a true first blood analytic. And for those that don't know, true first blood is basically like you got the first kill and you didn't get traded right away. Because right now, how it stands, you can go 1 for 1, but you killed him first. You get the first blood on your record. You don't get the first death. You know what I'm saying? True first bloods are so fucking important because it means you got the kill, whether that's you, let's say it's true first bloods on a duelist. That means you entered the site, got the first kill, and fucking lived, bro. Dude, you fucking killed it. You know what I mean? Like, pathing, whatever. You know what I mean?
There's a ton of metrics. Like, there's another one that is, I think, very valuable, especially if you're like a small example, like a Sentinel player, right? So, one-on-one success rate is very important to me. Duels. True duels. Even if you get traded, it doesn't matter. You killed the target you're going after. And even if you got traded, it does not matter. Let's say you're on attack, right? That is attack favored. If you win your first duel and get traded, it does not matter. The advantage now is on the attack. 4v4, big map, 2 bomb sites. Defense has to split up or figure it, right? But the attack can cluster and, have advantage, right? So I feel like this...
That would be sick, bro.
This is where you can start to parse what player is more valuable to this team, what player was more valuable in more situations, and then you can start going, I think this guy is better. Right now, we don't have that. Everything is so fucking subjective because it's just like, even when it comes to team building, you can only really go by scrims. You don't have tournament data. If we had a, like in CSGO, what I did with Stats Helix, you just get all the GoTV demos, right? You extrapolate all the data from the demos. You figure out, I'll give you an example. This was like 2016, 2017, maybe 2018. I don't remember the year, but I remember I hit up Hiko. Xantares was number 1 and Hiko was number 2. You know what? In what metric?
Sure.
Average damage per dollar. That means that on Eco, they fucked your money up more than you fucked their money up.
Yeah.
It was an insane stat.
The crazy fucking stat.
And I sent it to Hiko and I was like, bro, we just did this to see, because we tried to grade, I think we tried to compare the difference between Hobbit and Electronic. Yeah. And that was one of the things that I mentioned to Blade was like, on Eco rounds, basically this guy's better than this guy. And this is also important. And this was like one of the things you talked about. But when I saw the fucking list, I was like, wait, what? I was like, how the fuck are you here, Spencer? And he's like, bro, my dig is insane, bro. And I remember I laughed. But Xantares, this was like bad early. This was before the Xantares is doing all the CS2 shit, right? And that's like another way you can use data to sort of like parse player values. Because people don't even think like that. Is like, bro, why is efficiency... Why does it matter? It's like, because you know how important eco rounds are now in MR12 and in Valorant. Imagine if you had a stat for like which fucking guy with a deagle is just a fucking menace and who you stay away from. That guy's value goes way up because we've been talking about pistol rounds, right? How important pistol rounds are. And, I got Primi, right? Like, now imagine if we could find out who's the real Zywood of pistol rounds.
That would be a great stat to have, yeah.
How much is that player's value?
All right. Let's talk about, rankers, bro. Because we've been talking about them too in the watch parties. Also, for those that haven't been tuning into our watch parties, follow us on Twitter on Spike Talk everything we've been posting that we've been doing watch parties for Bangkok. And I know like you're not gonna be able to do some of them because you're gonna be traveling. But wait,
Yeah.
when you get
But
in
I'll
there,
do the
you
ones
think you'll
next
be
week. So I
yeah,
won't
so
be able
you're
to
gonna
do
the ones next
tomorrow,
week. Yeah.
but the ones next week I'll do it with you.
Yeah.
Don't
So
worry.
but anyways, we talked a lot about Exeter. You're a big fan of Exeter.
I am.
This meta is perfect for rankers. I just met Poppin last night, actually.
That's good.
Which is very
Is he
cool.
cool? I don't know.
Yeah,
him that
yeah, he's
well.
he's a cool kid. He's a cool.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, dude, they're still dominating NA. And they got Kane Zero now, who looks like the GOAT. They had
I-
Knights before, who also
I-
looked like the GOAT on that team. They're the real deal, bro.
I agree. I think Kane Zero is very good. I think he's one of the next guys. I love Exeter. You know, everybody that asks me about him, I tell him how much I love this guy, and I've been watching his streams just to figure it out. Because I've been the Yoru guy. I begged Ethan to use it on 100 Thieves. I begged my players on 100 Thieves to use him. I've been thinking this guy is killer. That's why when I had the chance to do what I wanted, you saw us open last year's kickoff with Neon and Yoru. Because I thought that was the shit. And then when they buffed ISO, you saw me, right? Like, you know, my academy team now is running ISO Yoru on almost every map. But I have secretly, I started watching because I was, you know, me and Jovi were the ones that always in server finding shit for him. Started watching Red and then Exeter. I've been so happy with like, you know, how big his stream pops off.
He's a master, bro. He is an absolute master.
He takes everything to the next level that we thought was possible. I'm a huge fan of like specialists, like huge fan of specialists. Most people don't know this, but Ryakimu was a 14 or 15-year-old kid in the Philippines on Neon. The Governor Neon shit you see, that started almost 4 years ago with this fucking young kid out of fucking the Philippines that started all this Neon tech. I'm a nerd when it comes to finding like these gems. Like I got them in a server. Ryakimu taught Governor all the Neon tech on fucking nearest airport.
Wow.
Right? Like, so anyways, the point is that I love guys like this that are true specialists because you can learn as much as you can by studying and watching. And he was a guy, and I mean, I love the team, I love the play style. I like the fact that they are unapologetic about their comps and the way that they play. And yeah, I mean, what they're doing, I brought to tier 1, and what they're doing, they did for themselves in tier 2. And I will always support a team that defies the meta by just trying to do things their way. And it just so happens they're beating everybody.
And it just so happens it's the perfect fucking meta for them as well, right? Let's just keep it a buck, bro. Like Yoru is like one of the best duelists in this version of the game.
I think he's been for a few years, but people just didn't want to give him a chance.
Yeah, you know what? It's exactly. People were just too like afraid. Like, and I don't blame them though. I don't blame them for being afraid because like with the way that the formatting is, you know, it's like tough to want to take a risk. It's like, god damn, bro. Like that's so tough. But yeah, I'm very happy. Also, you know, generational grinder. You want to talk about generational grinders, bro? Fucking Inspire, man. Like this guy has like gotten so many fucking things thrown his way where he could have just given up. Like I'm not kidding. He could have just been like, fuck it, I'm done. You know, like fuck this shit. Like I'm just gonna go work for fucking Halo. Like Halo wanted him as like part of like the dev team at some point, bro. Like straight up. He gets 13. Okay, first of all, he joins FaZe, gets cut from FaZe, you know, like sorry, brother. But you had to go. But then he joins 100 Thieves, gets 13-0'd, still doesn't give up, gets cut from 100 Thieves, still doesn't give up, whatever the fuck. He's been grinding tier 2 for like forever, bro. Grinding streams, grinding tier 2, and now he finally is in a spot where like he's at the top, bro. And it's the most deserved it's the most deserved I've ever seen because this guy never gave up. It's actually it's inspiring, bro. It's actually inspiring.
I'm gonna say it's inspirational for sure.
It is inspirational, bro. I'm turning into like fucking Van Silly, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
damn it.
But what you're saying is true, and I think he should be commended for the grit and the grind. And I think some of the players, like you said, Kane Zera, and forgive me for not remembering who some of the rest of his teammates are other than Exeter. They all deserve the credit for having a vision for what they wanted to play and showing people that you can just play to your comfort and still win and be good. I look forward to seeing how they perform for the rest of this. And even if they don't win I think hopefully they've changed the minds of what's
How
possible.
cool would it be to see Egster in the like? Imagine they do win, and this guy went from just making like TikTok clips to like
Brother.
actually being a pro. That would be a
Brother.
crazy story.
Brother, I will do anything I can to help that because I see it, bro. Man, having a Yoru that good is fucking different. And I think people are beginning to realize that. I mean, you saw DRX just this trip are going, oh, you know what everyone is doing? Yoru Tejo. Let's do that. And they're doing it. They swapped to Yoru on everything. And I think people are beginning to drink the Kool-Aid and go, oh my, maybe this is the real thing. I would hope they were looking at Exeter when they made the decision, but I know that they're looking at what other teams are doing and realizing, wow, this is really fucking strong. We should do that too. And, Exeter has been doing it since, as long as I can remember. Also, Red, always got to respect Red. He may not be at the same level, but that's also a guy that was grinding Yoru from the start. So,
yeah. Vanity retired officially. He's done. I know he was trying to like do some stuff in CS. Yeah, I mean that sucks, like that's tough, bro. Seeing somebody in sports, like we saw him playing the entire time, in Valorant. And it's crazy for him to just be like done gaming now. It seems like that's what it's going on. I mean, he's gonna go to school, he's gonna stream. I mean, fuck, that's good though, I mean, that's not a bad retirement, bro. Let's keep it, bro. He had a crazy run, dude. Being in and out of the league like multiple times. Like what the fuck?
I mean, he's had a successful career. It's a shame that he doesn't go out probably the way that he wants.
Right.
But it's a lesson.
You never really can though, dude. Like it's tough to
that's
go
why
out.
You have to take advantage of it when you can.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, when you can do more, you need to. And that's why top fours aren't fucking good enough.
Facts, bro. Facts. All right, let's talk about the matches, bro, because I mean, this is what we're fucking here for, bro. It's Bangkok time. We've already seen quite a few matches. I mean, I didn't get to be a part of the watch party last night, which was EDG, G2, DRX, Vitality.
So start from the bottom. Let's just start.
Yeah, let's start from the bottom. Exactly. So the first matches we watched was, oh shit, bro. EDG Liquid was a fucking slugfest, dude. I was so impressed by we were both impressed, right? We were so impressed by Liquid and EDG. It was like two fucking teams just like fighting each other. And you know what? From what it looks like, that might be the way that you have to try to take EDG out, bro. It just seems like they just force you to play this style where like you have to brawl them out. Like you have to. And you're gonna, dude, Liquid gave them a run for their fucking money.
Those guys are fucking incredible.
Like Liquid gave them a run for their fucking money.
That game was sick. I felt bad for Nats, obviously, because I'm rooting for him, even though I doubted if they can make Bangkok. But I agree with you. I left very impressed by both teams. I agree with you again about what EDG is very good at. They force you to play at their speed, their style.
Right? Like and you can't really match it. Like even Liquid, like the first map is when they were truly matching that style. But then on Pearl, it just all got dismantled. Like that's another thing that you were talking about, bro. The EDG, like they just like break you down, bro. Like their mental is totally fucking fine.
They're world champions.
And they're good.
They
don't care, bro. They're not getting tilted if they get 2v4'd. You're getting tilted when Chichu 2v4s you.
They got that dog in them. They're champions, and you can see they believe it, and you can see that like everyone is bought in. Like, bitch, you're gonna have to take the crown from us.
Yeah,
I have been so impressed. Now, obviously, I talked about their mental, however long ago, and the energy and all the stuff that they do. They seem like in that area they have an advantage against everybody.
Yeah,
and that's what makes that team fucking scary because it's true confidence.
Yep,
it's not this like false bravado where people say this shit. Nah, they live that shit. And that to me is what's crazy. The Team Liquid stood up to that and said, what? Nah, bro. This is ours. And it was sick. It was sick.
That split was one of the best maps, I think, of the tournament. That shit was just like it was just crazy plays that were being made. Chichu pops off. Hong Kong always is gonna pop off, but Camo, bro, Camo looks so good. Like people on VLR are calling him like the Like he's like, yo, when is Camo? Like when did he become simple or stuff like that?
Brother.
Or Donk, like they're calling him Donk, you know?
Yeah.
Which is just it's just so funny because this guy was on Koi and he was just like quiet, bro. So this leads to
Situations
another
matter.
discussion. Yeah, this leads to another discussion where it's like, holy fuck, bro! Like you get the right group of guys around you,
Yeah.
or there's the right group of people. It doesn't have to be guys. You know what I'm trying to say?
No,
But
you're right.
You get the right supporting cast around you, bro. You could be enabled to pop the fuck off. Like I guess he's always had that in him too, which is probably why Koi picked him up in the first place, right?
Yeah.
But damn.
Team building.
Oh my god. I mean, dude, we did not expect Liquid to be like this, bro.
No.
Like we did not expect Liquid. Like we were looking at this in the offseason on SpikeTalk. We could probably like bring it back, bro. We were like, nah, they're gonna be ass, bro. No offense, Nats. We didn't know what you were cooking. And now you look at Nats even online. He's
I respect the game. Yeah, I was like, my bad. I fucked up. My bad. I knew it. I knew it immediately. I was like, God damn, I was wrong. Oh fuck. And it's good to see that they had that fight in them. And I'm telling you, I'm so impressed by EDG because I thought they were not going to be this dominant. And to see what they are and see how Liquid hung in there, I'm like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
This
hey,
shit
bro.
is litty.
Another thing we were wrong about, though, was Sentinels beating DRX. Bro. They actually got fucking smacked around, brother.
They
like
did,
that was.
They did.
And you know what, though? Like I will say, because I mean, I know you watch everything, but like, dude, like I'm there. Like for most of the games, that first stage, I was there. I don't know. I worked like 9-10 days or something like that. So I got to see like almost every Sentinels match, bro. They always start off slow. I don't know what's going on with them this year,
Talon.
bro. They have the slowest starts I've ever seen, dude. And it's like
tough.
Like they just like we know they're a great team. Everybody knows Sentinels are a great team, but you just like when it's the top 2 teams from every region, bro. You cannot be starting slow in a tournament like this, bro, because these teams they're not bums, bro. They're not gonna get like they're gonna take a 2-0, bro. If you start slow on your own map pick, like, dude. Also, I feel like, and I was talking to this about like with the NRG boys as well. Like on Lotus, they're running like a standardish comp still. You know, they're still not running like Tejo on every single map. Ironically, though, like the Haven, when they played the Tejo on there, that was like way closer of a map. You know, which I think they almost made a comeback, right? They almost made a comeback in it. Ultimately ended up losing, but like it was competitive. And it just goes to show like, yo, Tejo is just too broken not to play right now. I'm sorry.
Trust me, Tejo is saving so much ass right now. It's actually insane.
Hey, DRX run it fucking great. By the way, freeing with oh, excuse me. I'm burping. It was so nasty.
Yeah,
bro.
I know.
Freeing with that pistol ace, that was some of the sickest shit ever, bro. And I know you were like, yeah, but they all peeked them one by one, but it's like, when do you get an ace and they don't peek you one by one? You know what I mean?
The thing that bothered me the most about that play was freeing his beat. So obviously,
don't even do homework. It's not even worth it. Don't even do homework.
It's just fuck.
Don't do homework for other team, bro.
Yeah, it's
but there was a tell on
Sentinels should have seemed prepared, and they didn't seem like they understood what they were playing and doing. And this is what I was disappointed about because I have high expectations for Sentinels.
Yeah. I mean,
they did not meet that expectation.
And even Kaplan in the interview, he was straight up like, remember at the end of the thing, he was like, listen, like we weren't even able to do the game plan. Like we were just waking up or something. What's going on?
Right. And I know what that's like because every first game we had was like that, and it pissed me the fuck off. And unlucky, but you got to fix that shit because at this level, you cannot fucking throw away maps. Yep. This is the thing that like
you got to give yourself a chance, bro.
But DRX played great. Oh, and I was like, okay, cool. Oh, they played great in that series.
Bro, and Flashback was
they outplayed them
crazy on Haven.
Give it to him. Yep.
Flashback looked like God's gift to Valorant on Haven, dude. Yeah. He was doing he actually like solo carried that map. I couldn't believe the shit I was seeing on a Flashback. Like
facts.
Every time he was at A site, bro, people are just dead. Like they were just getting aimbotted left, right. It was crazy as fuck.
Yep.
Oh my God. And the next day, 21st, we had from the start, we had Vitality T1, bro. And this is where so first of all, you got to scrim a lot of these teams, you know, like because obviously you guys are in APAC. So like that's the benefit of for the APAC and Chinese teams is you get to scrim against all these teams, the top 2 teams from every region right now. And you got to scrim against Vitality and the other teams, and you said by far Vitality is like one of the craziest teams, like in terms of their macro gameplay, the individual skill. So far, we've seen the individual skill that you were talking about, how they're like kind of unmatched, and like even when the macro goes south, like the individual skill can bail them out. But you had some like thoughts about, and even against T1, we could kind of see it. Like we thought it would be a lot more clean. I will say a win is a fucking win at the end of the day, and it's
Facts,
like no
yeah.
one's gonna
I
remember
agree.
how they won, But from what you experienced in scrims, you were saying something's not translating one for one in that aspect.
No, tactically they look fucking lost. They look like they don't understand what is going on.
But in scrims, it's the complete opposite.
Brother, they are impossible. And
Yeah,
I
like their
think
macro's perfect.
something isn't translating, and I don't know what it is because I'm not there. But I think I
wonder if they feel the same way. I wonder if they feel the same.
I feel like I see what the apex of Vitality is, and I'm like, guys, I'm telling you right now, other teams are not built this way. They are not those. They are not this. This is different. And then I watched the T1 match, and it was like they played into the hands. T1 thrives in a slugfest. The macro is dog water. And they just literally just kept giving them the game, and T1 could have won this. And I know it looks like a 2-0 on paper that, like, well, Vitality beat them, and it was free, but it wasn't. And T1 could have easily won this 2-0, and this is what I was left
It was close.
by. Like,
yeah, it came down to a couple
damn,
rounds, bro.
Like, what is going on? Like, but in my opinion, I felt, okay, first match jitters. Maybe the game plan wasn't as tight as you wanted. Like, okay, cool. I was expecting, okay, the next match, I know they got this, trust me. Because they know they're not going to bully DRX. They're going to have to out-macro them. And DRX is execute heavy. They should be able to do that. And so this was my logic after the T1 match.
Yeah. But then
I was disappointed. DRX. I was like, it's fine. This shit happens.
Yeah. But then they played DRX yesterday, and you were saying that they actually got out-macroed by DRX.
Brother, DRX outplayed them 3 maps. And I'm just sitting there like, huh? And it was hero play after hero play after hero play for, less safe.
That's the power, bro. That's the power of this Vitality roster.
That's what makes this roster fucking scary.
It's fucked.
But they're going to have, like, how many times can you go to that well? You have to beat people different ways, right? Like, look, the win versus T1 was something I preach about all the time. If you're a good team, you still have to beat good teams on bad days.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Maybe that was a bad day. Maybe that shit was just cooked. Who cares? You still beat them. Congrats. Good shit, boys. The DRX match, you had to know you had to beat the clean game. You had to play macro. You had to do things correctly. This team kind of easy on the ante, should be chilling, right? I don't know. And I'm not there, so I don't know.
Do you think, though? Do you think that, and I'm not saying this is the case, do you think that it has anything to do with like unfamiliarity of playing against like APAC teams? Because I feel like that could be a reason, right? Because it is completely different play style.
For sure.
And like maybe when we actually see them playing like a more macro focused team, I don't even want to call it a macro focus, just a more team that's like fundamentally more standard, I guess you could say. Which is like, I guess it doesn't really like, what is the standard now with Tejo? But you know what I mean. Like maybe if they play up in that matchup against G2, or if they get to play like a Sen, maybe we'll see that shine a little bit more. Because maybe they want to fight. Maybe maybe that is their game plan going into these teams, like going into APAC teams. Like fuck it, we'll fight them.
Yeah, I think. Okay, I don't know this for sure, but I think you saw it in NRG, right? NRG struggled their first APAC teams and they figured it out.
Yeah,
I think you could say that's the same. I will tell you this, though. Why I felt so strongly about Vitality because of scrims is safe when he's able to get a lead. It looked like he knows how to close. Like the team looks like they know what they're doing. The problem is DRX, if you look at the first kills, first deaths, I believe it was close to even. That's why the series was so fucking close, because you know what the difference was with Fnatic over the last few years, right? It's like even if Boaster's down 1, it's a 4v5, that team could still win the round at a high enough rate that they were dangerous. And then they had Alpha, they had derkes, they could get 5v4s. And Boaster almost always closed that out when it mattered, right? Yeah. So Vitality looks like it's different. Vitality looks like if you get the first pick, they have to press, and it looks like it's harder for them to like steal around. right?
and
And they have the individual
yeah.
skill, but that's more macro.
And I
That's
think that's where we saw, like, you're definitely right about the first bloods, because I think for the first time in a long time we've seen Les kind of get bullied in that department. Even though he still played great,
Facts.
he was getting fried in the first engagements, bro.
Right. And now you
Yeah.
lose your
He went-
smokes
he went-
player.
Yeah, he went 2 kills, 2 first kills, 9 first deaths in the series. Like, that's tough, bro.
Yeah, I felt like Safe was dead every round first, and I don't know if this is true, but it
Safe
just
went
felt
Safe
this way.
went 10 first deaths, 5 first
Right.
kills. Derke had the most first deaths, but like he was also, he knew that he had to go fucking crazy, right? And he did.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't
Derke
criticize duelists for high first deaths. I always criticize supports mainly for
Dude, Derke at that last map of Split, 8 first kills, 1 first death, bro, to close it out, like 25 bomb, like
big players, big games,
dude, right?
Like,
right?
but yeah, I'm not even being critical. I just feel like I'm being honest. DRX outplayed them in 3 maps. And Vitality, I think, is continuing to get away with hero ball. But when the fuck is that not going to work? And I know they could be good at controlling macro and punishing you for pressing and like really taking advantage of, pace and space. But I just am not seeing that here. So when I think they translate the way they can control scrims,
it's going to be GG.
We're going to see that.
Yeah, it's going to be GG.
When this is going to happen, I don't know. But I can tell you this. If they play like they have, I mean, I know I said the same thing about, okay, remember I said, if they play the way they play T1, DRX is going to fuck them up. In my opinion, I still think I was right about that. They just lost. DRX fucked them up on 3 maps. But those guys are so fucking good that it didn't matter. They could still squeeze out enough rounds, and Derke can just go ham on the last map and just take it over, right? So I believe again that if they don't do better in the macro department, EDG is probably going to beat them. But I can't say that for sure because these guys are so fucking good that it hasn't mattered so far. So maybe they just go, fuck it, let's just swing and bang against a swing and bang team, and maybe they actually come out on top again, and I'm just like confused, like, damn, this team is just fucking, who cares? I don't even have to play well. I'm just better than you. Like, but I just don't think that's sustainable. Maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong about so much of this fucking tournament anyway.
I mean, shit, I don't fucking know, bro. That's why I love tournaments like this, though, bro, because it's just like, there's just so much crazy shit that happens. Like, for example, I mean, okay, here, before we get to EDG G2, which was fucking crazy. Let's just talk about G2 Trace real quick. This was probably the most one-sided match the entire event so far.
I wasn't surprised by this.
I don't think I was either. Yeah, that's tough. Tough for Trace. But I mean, this is a really good experience for Trace. Like, let's just keep it real.
I agree.
But yeah, let's get to the juice, bro. The juicy game of EDG versus G2, brother. Again, the Pearl goes fucking crazy, just like EDG playing against Liquid on Split. G2 win it in overtime. By the way, Chichu had some of the most ridiculous fucking rounds I've ever seen on this map of Pearl, by the way. That first map was fucking crazy out of Chichu.
Yeah.
Fucking insane performance, dude. Like, the clutches this guy, it's unbelievable. He's so reliable. Chichu is one of the most reliable clutchers in the fucking league right now, dude. Like, put him in there with anybody.
That's
it's fucking nuts.
Right there. It's tough. Like, in my opinion, I think what's going to get lost is people don't realize that at one point this game was basically like 8-8 or like 9-8 or something. Like, G2 could have 2-0'd them also. Right? That's not what people are going to think about. Like, because obviously Fracture was so fucking dominant, but like G2 could have won 2-0. This was just a really, really fucking good series. And it showed a lot of grit and fight, and I was really surprised by, I think, how good EDG was on Pearl. And I told you, I was like, oh man, I'm surprised. I feel like EDG can take Pearl. Or like I said in my pre, that EDG can take Pearl. and G2 could take bind, and it looked like that was going to happen.
Dude, you would think that G2 would win bind as well because
Right.
they've been so fucking good on that map historically.
Yeah.
Like it's been one of their strongest maps, straight up.
Yeah, I thought the veto was so weird by both teams, but okay, fine. You know, I bind was so close. It doesn't look like that, but man, that map it was just these crazy hero plays that I think saved them. And I think in my opinion, G2 was caught out a lot on the A executes the most.
And by the way, I've been a pretty big advocate of like I hate Teo on bind. Sorry, not Teo. I hate KO on bind. I fucking hate the DRX when they were running it. But what I've came to realize, my evolution of how I feel about this character is I don't mind it with the solo smoke. I think with two smokes is where with the double controller comp with the KO, that's the version of the KO that I don't like. I actually like the KO. Like I like this comp that EDG run. It's T1's comp as well, right? It's the Teho KO as the initiators. I think that shit is actually fucking so oppressive on this map. And oh my god, like where do you fucking play, bro? Like you can't play in the sites, like you said. Like you're fucked. And then now you got post plant utility. You got fucking 2 flashes of Molly, KO knife to stop all your util. You got the Teho missiles that come back up, brother. Like this comp is actually sick. Dude, I imagine if a Sent was in the pool, you'd see something like this. You would see KO Teho Omen or something like that. You know what I mean?
Simon is just so fucking good on this. There's a round where, and forgive me, I don't remember the round, but I believe. Anyways, it was a 2-man play. I was gonna say the round, but I'm not even gonna fuck it up. He does a jumping. So imagine this: you're a defender, right?
Yeah.
You are with KO. He's your teammate. You guys are on A on bind. He does a jumping pop flash. So he jumps the door going into showers. He jumps the door and you short swing and you kill somebody. This guy was pulling some shit, bro. That round in a microcosm was the game. Simon doesn't, it's not going to look pretty on the scoreboard. Simon undoubtedly fucking hard carried that game in big moments. It was insane. Like that play, it was such a well-timed double peek. A jumping right-click pop flash where he pop flashes, he's in the air, the guy tries to shoot him, and then his teammate just kills him. And it's like, Simon was control of that game from the jump, bro. He doesn't have a big game because he's like supportive. There's another, oh my God, there's another fucking round where he has this, they're on defense. He has a well-timed pop flash from CT. EDG, fucking G2, is taking back sight on their attack. Simon pop flash. His teammates get kills. This guy, bro.
He had 13 assists.
Brother, that play, this guy is insane.
That's crazy. Like 13 assists is crazy work,
insane. Bro. I was just like, dude, this is unfair. So to your point, when you play KO like that, or like how Ethan sometimes plays him, or fucking Stacks, you can get away with it. If you're going to play like that, fuck, let's go. You know, but you need to play it like that to make it have the value that can help you win in big matches like this. And I think that's the unfortunate part was G2 were in there, and then all of a sudden, you could feel the momentum shift.
Yeah.
And EDG said, all right, fuck it. I'm not going to play around anymore. And then they just got on a roll and they ended the map.
Dude.
And then you saw that roll continue on Faction.
And what better of a comp do you want to run than the fucking Neon Breach Teho, bro? Like that comp is so fucking overwhelming. I'm also very surprised more teams don't run this composition. Yeah, like straight up, like I know Neon is like
we tried it. And
look,
unlucky.
Hey, listen, like I know Neon is like not the same Neon anymore, but it's still fucking good when you're paired up with a Breach and a Teho. Sorry, it's
for
fire.
Sure.
Fire. And then you got Chichu just fucking going lights out as well, bro. I don't know, man. EDG, they're champs. Like you already said it. They're fucking champions and they're playing like it, bro. And this is so impressive because we haven't seen a champions roster stay together in the first place. But to continue it, bro, and like do this, like beat a team like G2, everyone is like, oh,
To me, what's
Like they
scary
should
about
beat
them
EDG.
isn't even like the skill, if that makes sense. It's like the confident. They're the boogeyman.
Yeah, bro.
Like, you think you're confident, you think you're good,
And then
and
they
they're just
just
laughing,
fucking
smiling.
yeah.
You hit him in the face. It's like you get into a fight with a guy and you punch him in the face,
And he smiles at
and his
you.
nose is bleeding, and he's smiling like, "Oh yeah, come on, come on." It's like, wait, I just hit you with my best shot. Oh fuck! Like,
He just starts
yeah.
running you down, bro.
Bro, it is insane, bro. Like, you could see the fracture momentum, and they're getting more confidence and more confidence. And you see G2 like making these plays, and it's just like they're just a little short. And I felt terrible. It was just, I actually thought G2 was going to beat them. I thought their comp was better. I thought like there was so much going on they had advantage for. I like their play style on it, which is basically the fast flood, like,
Yeah.
2 or 3 CT, fast flood, fast response. Brother.
Didn't matter.
Brother, it was a fucking beatdown of epic proportions, bro. And I'm just watching like the face cams of the players, and you can feel the like strain on G2.
It's like,
Like,
whoa, what the fuck do we do?
bro, they're getting out clutched. So
And-
that
and-
was the crazy part. Was the clutches. The 2v2s never went their way.
And by the way, this is like the first time we've seen. I feel like Leaf really struggle in a series this year, bro.
Jaw
Like-
struggled too.
Jaw struggled a bit as well, yeah. And that was it. Like, so what does this mean for G2, bro? What does this mean for G2? Like, you think that this is like a easy bounce back, or you think this is something that like is gonna haunt them for a while?
I think they have confidence. I think they can bounce back. I think what we saw in G2 though is in my opinion, if there's a weakness, not that this team is weak, but if there's a weakness, it's in overall skill and talent. That's not what they rely on. But if you have a team like we mentioned with like Old Loud or, Gambit back in the day, or, EDG or T1 now, if they are just hitting on all cylinders, your tactical prowess does not matter. Because I'm telling you, G2 was in very good situations here, and it did not matter. They were getting shit on.
Yeah.
It was just a pure, in my opinion, a pure firepower diff. And you can tell on Bind that the flip switch, watch the last 4 rounds, and they were just bullying them. And then they did it on Fracture. And now I'm like, oh. And it's no disrespect to G2. It just is what it is. Like, you play to your strengths.
Yeah.
But that's the way. If there is a way to beat them, it's the APAC. It's the PRX. It's your style. It's me gaming.
Yes.
If you pounce on them and you're successful, especially Leaf, things start falling apart real quick, because that's what happened. B was getting beat up a lot early, and Leaf was just having no success. And when that happens, now you're starting to see like, oh, there's chinks in the armor.
Yeah.
So, but I think they'll be fine. I think they'll figure it out. They're mentally tough. They're probably gonna beat the next team, and they'll make a run. I'm not that concerned about like, oh, is G2 done? Is this over? No. But G2 saw that like on a bad day, they can't beat a team with the quality of a team like this. They need to be hitting on all cylinders in order to beat the world champs.
100%.
And when they do that, I think, like Valen said in an interview, he's like, oh, we're going to beat them the next time. Yeah, I think that's certainly possible.
Yeah.
But the next time you have to play well. If you play well and they play well, you have a chance to win. If they play poorly, I think you'll beat them. But if you play badly, you're not good enough to beat that team.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. So that's what I learned in that series.
Yeah. Now we have our first elimination matches going on tonight. We got T1 Trace. We got Liquid Sen, which is gonna be fucking.
That is crazy. No?
That's fucking. Man. All right, let's just. I think T1's gonna beat Trace. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I would agree with you.
You have a lot more experience.
I would agree with
matchup,
you, but I think that I think Chinese teams don't present a problem to T1. This Chinese team is slow and methodical, which can be a problem for T1. I don't expect T1 to lose this. I think T1 is too good to lose this because, in my opinion, Fang F is such a critical part of what Trace does. And also, in my opinion, T1 has Meteor.
I know.
And I
He's
still
so
trust
good, bro.
Meteor versus Fang F. If
Meteor's so
they hit
good.
weak side and they hit his sight, I think Meteor's going to clap cheeks. So
Yeah.
unlucky.
Yeah,
No offense.
We'll have to see. Yeah, I do want to point something out, and
Talk to
this is copium, or maybe hopium, you could say, is that at champs we did see Trace be like one of the first teams to like get an upset against like an international squad.
Oh, for sure.
And that's after we saw EDG like lose like the first
Right.
round.
But now
And
everyone
then-
respects them.
And
And
then
that's why.
well, once Trace beat that team, EDG went on that fucking crazy run because they're like, oh shit, they did it. So
Right.
now I'm like, something to look out for. Who the fuck knows, bro? Maybe
No, 100%.
maybe since they saw EDG beat fucking G2, it could fuel them up. Like I'm telling you, this game,
It's
like you know how
possible.
this game is.
No, it's
This game is
possible.
all like fucking confidence and momentum. I mean,
Yeah,
the Chinese
it's
teams with
possible.
confidence is fucking dude.
Just
like,
know
we've
one
already
thing,
seen
though.
it.
At that time, no one respected Trace. No one thought anything
Yes,
of it. Remember,
yes,
Artist
yes,
said,
yes.
this team's dog shit. They'll never
Yes,
win.
yes, yes.
So, fuck cares? Everyone respects Trace now.
Yeah.
They're not sneaking up on
do
no
your
one now.
Your due diligence now,
Right.
for sure. Now,
So,
banger, fucking banger, bro. Liquid
Sentinels,
Sen.
yep.
Oh my god, bro. Listen, I'm telling you, Sen, you cannot be starting off slow, bro.
I agree.
You cannot be starting off slow.
I
Camel will go
fucking
fucking
agree.
crazy on you, bro.
I fucking agree.
Oh shit.
This is if I'm a Sentinels fan, worst matchup possible. You were praying to get T1 or Trace.
Dude.
You were not in the mood to see
Oh man.
Liquid because this is a fucking death trap
Yeah.
for Sentinels.
This Liquid roster is fucking scary, bro.
Facts.
And I actually don't know who I'm voting for in this, bro. I don't know who. I think Liquid might take it, bro. I know this sounds fucking
100%
crazy.
agree. Everything
sounds
tells me
fucking
Liquid's about to
crazy.
win
I just
this.
have this feeling, bro. I don't know why,
I know.
bro. I'm not even trying to hate on Sen, bro. I love
know
their
you're not.
roster.
I know you're not.
Everyone in the comments always says that we're NA biased, bro. But I think that Liquid are gonna win this, man. Fuck, man. I don't know, man. I feel so bad for what Sen are about to have to go through. But hold on, maybe they prove us wrong. Maybe they prove us wrong.
I mean, I hope so. I just will say that, like, even if they go 0-2, the quality of the teams that the Sentinels had to play was still premier, right? So I'm not worried about Sentinels' long-term health. I think I'm more surprised by Team Liquid's like rise in strength. Because I think Team Liquid is playing better, and I think they are my favorite to win it. But if Sentinels lose, it's not going to be like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with Sentinels? Sentinels is dog shit. It's more like,
Oh, like Liquid's
this
good.
fucking Liquid team is insane, right? So I think it's less like poo-pooing Sentinels and more like this fucking Liquid team they might be.
They're the real deal type
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I think Sen's gonna have to wait, like be awake and present in the moment for the first map. We need to see Narrate get online. I mean, Bang. We need to see Zek. Second,
Everyone
it's
needs
so
to
hard
fucking
as a
step
duelist,
the fuck
bro.
up, bro. I know.
Yeah, Bang was the only one that I really noticed was like fucking shooting back, bro. I gotta be honest. Like he was the only one really shooting
Bang
back.
always shoots back. Shooter's a shooter.
Yeah,
But no. The rest of them need to fucking step
but he
it up.
can't do it
is what
alone,
is.
bro. Like even
I
like.
know.
Even
I-
against DRX, Bang would like get 1, get 2, but then he would get traded out, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden the guy that traded him out would get like fucking 3. Like
Right.
the trading needs to be better.
Yeah.
They need to be more confident, bro. They need to be way more confident. They have the fucking skill. They have all the tools they need, bro. Sen have
Sure.
all the fucking tools they need, except for maybe like the a couple old compositions that I don't really think fit. No, it's not even that it doesn't fit. I don't even know, bro. I don't know.
Life is hard, bro, and this game is fucking hard. And
Yeah,
maybe they're just not ready right now.
yeah, it could be.
So Liquid looks like they're on it because if you see it, right, like, look, this is not how the game works or competition, but in general, if you think about like the paper Valorant, if EDG was taken to the brink and EDG kind of, outplay G2,
Mhm.
right? That means fucking Liquid is good as fuck, right?
Well, okay, to be fair, it was only on one map. It was the split map. Like, low key, like,
Yeah.
I actually think Sen will win the map pool veto. I think they'll win the veto because I wasn't a fan of how Liquid played the Pearl, to be honest. But then again, they got like 2v4'd, and that was what kind of like set them like.
That's
to,
what I'm
like, go
saying. Don't
tilt,
forget,
right? It was like a
if memory
2v4,
serves,
right?
I thought they were up like 6-2, right? And then just snowball.
Yeah, it was 5-3. They were up 5-3.
Remember, same shit with G2. G2 had like the momentum and the control of the game,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, snowball, and then next map 13-4. Like EDG is just they just got the guy. Like Can is just when he gets on a rhythm, it's over. Everyone, he rises all tides, and then like they got Simon and Nobody and Jihu, like you said, with clutching everything. Like, the fuck do you do? So Liquid started mega hot and then just kind of cooled the fuck off. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't as impressive, but it felt in the moment that it was very impressive, and that's why I'm saying like I think advantage should go to Team Liquid, both on form and the fact that like they have been consistently playing close and playing tough. So, 3-2 Vitality in the finals. They could have beaten Vitality, or I'm sorry, EDG. Maybe not on the second map, but you never know what happens on the third map. But certainly that first map should have been, And if you look at how they, played on that map versus G2, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's not how this game works, but just, yeah.
I just I have a feeling Lotus is gonna get in there. What do you think is gonna happen on the map? Because the liquid Lotus comp is like
Reyna,
Faye, Raze, Viper. I actually like. Do you think that
I think matchup wise, yes, it helps for a team that wants to swing and bang. Having Reyna is going to be nice. I don't think that comp is that good.
Yeah, I think it's gonna get smacked up because even if you look at Vitality, they ran the same comp that Sentinels likes to run.
Yeah,
and they kind of smacked Liquid up. I guess I think I'm gonna have to see the veto first. I gotta see how the maps go, what the map pool is, and then I think it'll be more clearly. Like I'm
confident just go on form.
Yeah,
I think form wise,
Liquid
the advantage. So.
But if Sentinels get some good maps in, like I think if they could get Pearl, if they can get Lotus,
sure,
like they will have an advantage in the series.
I understand that
way.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, that's it, bro. That's literally it. So
cool.
I mean, we're gonna be watch partying the games. We watch party it on either twitch.tv/frost or twitch.tv/a_babybay. You're not gonna be doing the games
tomorrow's
tonight.
Matches,
yeah,
or tonight's
matches because you're going to be traveling, but you will be back for playoffs.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fine. Or what about, are you going to be there for, because there's going to be games going on the next couple of days, bro.
I don't know when the games are, but we'll play it by ear. But I know for sure I can't be on Sunday's games or the games that
Monday?
Are in.
You do Monday?
7 hours. I think so, but I'm not sure.
Be able to do Monday?
I'm not sure. We'll see. Yeah.
Hey, either way. You guys know where to find us. We're doing the watch parties every day. We had people queuing in there. We have cool guests. We actually had like a lot of fucking guests.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try to continue that as well. So hopefully everybody from your stream will come to mine.
Of course, like I'm
since you can't do it.
I mean, I feel like all the people in mine were yours anyway. So
yeah, exactly.
You're giving me way too much credit.
You're becoming a streamer now, bro. You're becoming a streamer now.
Hell nah.
All right. Hell nah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching this episode of Spike Talk. Don't forget to like, sub, and comment down below. Talk shit to Frost. Talk shit to me if you need to. Talk shit about the teams at VCT Bangkok. Tell us who you think's gonna win these matches. Honestly, who do you think's gonna win the whole thing? So just let us know down below. And yeah, we love y'all. Hope you enjoy the episode. Peace out.